In the world of fighting games, a lot of people struggle with the beginning steps of properly learning how to play a game. Of course, this varies from person to person, but if you're like me, it can be daunting going from watching the pros play to playing yourself. This is where the market for fighting game lessons comes in, and it makes sense. If you want to be the best, you learn from the best. But I've never heard a top player or an up-and-comer credit their growth to lessons. Tons of people even question the validity of lessons and question why people would pay someone to teach them how to play a video game. Which is why when I had the opportunity to actually sit down with a pro player and get a week of lessons, I jumped at the chance to see if it's really worth it. The story has some parts to it, and before we can reach the verdict, we need to go over what got me here.
In the beginning.
So back in February, I was browsing through the Smash section of Twitch and stumbled across an old top player named Nakat who I used to sub to in high school. I jumped into the stream and figured since I had my Twitch Prime up, might as well resubscribe and rejoin the Discord. So a few days later, I see a notification on my phone about Nakat's Zero to Hero program, where he takes a group of players and trains them for a week. I hit him up, we talked prices, we talked business, exchanged currency, dates were set for May, and I was in there, man. I told myself I'm going to practice as much as possible going into May, so that way I can make the most of the lessons. Before we get into exactly what went down on the first day of the training session, I should break down who Nakat actually is.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Tyrell Nakat Coleman is a Smash player whose career dates back to Brawl, with a number of notable placings across Brawl, Smash 4, and Ultimate. He established himself as an incredibly skilled NES player, as well as a personality within the community. In Ultimate, he transitioned away from NES, because NES is hot garbage, and took up playing Inkling, Pichu, and a number of other characters. Now, back to the topic at hand. Going into the first day, I was a mixture of nervous and excited, not only because I was going to be able to learn the deeper parts of the game, but because I was going to be able to prove to myself that I was as good as I thought that I was. So 5 p.m. rolls around, Discord call gets started, and I meet my group. I would be spending this next week practicing with Pichu, Taketh, Slam, and Polar, all subs from Nakat's Discord, and players with way more experience than I had. Honestly, I was a little intimidated looking at the roster, so I just sort of got ready, we went in, and I got to play some games so Nakat could judge my initial skill. I got fucking whooped, but it's fine. You know, I wasn't warmed up, I hadn't really been playing since quarantine started, so I was rusty. I just kind of took it all with a grain of salt, and the cat gave me my tips, which included spending an hour recovering in training mode, which I did my homework, went to bed, got ready for the next day.
24 hours later.
I contemplated whether or not I want to include this next part in the video, but I decided for the sake of an honest recap of everything that happened, I will. So let's get into the big bad decision that I made going into day 2. I was ready, warmed up, prepared, and rewatching the VOD so I could make sure I had good notes. And while I'm rewatching the VOD, I made the mistake of leaving chat open. And if you don't know, Nakat's chat tends to clown on whoever's on stream if they're doing badly. Well, most of the clownery made me a little upset, but there was one comment that really set me off, and I can't get a screen capture of it, so instead, I'll simply type it out for you. That's right. Iceman asked if I was new to the game, and this set me on a path of salt that I have never experienced before in my life. And when I tell you that I was so mad and ready to do stupid things, you know what? I'll just let the me from that time period tell you exactly what went down. I also do want to say, before I go, Iceman's a bitch.
That's crazy.
and that was a little insulting. So I would also like to call him out. I'll play him in a $50 money match after the week's over.
That's crazy.
You know what? I'm with that.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Because I got the time.
Damn, dude.
Bro, if you want me to do it right now, like shit, I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. I just didn't want to interrupt. I figured Nakat would want to stream this shit, bro. Bring him in.
We're coming from a new cut nowadays.
Bring him in.
Believe.
Bro, bring him in.
So this is what's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually gonna let Iceman host the lobby. I'm gonna make it a public lobby, by the way, Iceman. I'm gonna give everybody the info. I'm gonna
I wanna watch this shit
temporarily while this happens.
This is crazy.
And I'm gonna commentate it. All your critique is gonna come from this Vestify, by the way.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Great. This is gonna be excellent. This is gonna be hilarious. To be honest.
The only thing I ended up proving was that I was absolutely ass at this game. The way Nakat spoke about movement made me realize that I really didn't get the game at all. Some of the things that I had been spending my time practicing weren't necessarily what I should have been investing my time into just yet. So he showed off a few things after the Zero to Hero session to really teach me, how to move around, and it was super useful to watch him sort of just seamlessly move and explain movement as something more than just a way to get from point A to point B. He explained it in a way where I looked at it as an offensive or a defensive option, which when you think about it is probably straightforward, but in the heat of the moment, it never really occurred to me to think about moving in fighting games in general as that kind of option. So I took what I learned, put it in my brain, locked it in deep, started practicing, and got ready for day 3. Going into day 7, I was nervous. I'd spent the past week training, and it felt like this moment was the one where it would define if I had wasted that time and money or not. All I wanted to do was win a single game, not even a set, just one game to prove to myself that I could do it. That I, the person who had started at the bottom of the group, could sort of at least upgrade, I guess that's the way I'd put it. I went into game 1, and I got absolutely destroyed by Pichu's Game & Watch. It was sad. It was sad. I was salty. I barely executed on the things I had learned, and I made the same mistakes I made on the first day. It was a moment that definitely shattered my mentality. Going into game 2, I was already on tilt. I felt the pressure to prove myself weighing even harder on my shoulders. That pressure cost me the game. Towards the end, I was ready to give up, but I didn't. I don't think I could have really lived with myself if I had called it quits in that moment in time. Took the time to calm myself down, did some push-ups to get that anger out, and then game 3 and 4, I went in with a clean head. Sadly, they ended the same way as games 1 and 2. Complete and total washouts. I left Zero to Hero without a single win under my belt, and it was a painfully humbling experience. Even going into it knowing that out of my group I was the worst player, it was painful to know that I couldn't pull through and win a single game. It genuinely felt like I hadn't improved at all. I stuck around for the post-round robin interview, talked to Nakat and Black Twins, and, well, I'll just let them explain what they had to say.
Well, Absolucian, for one,
bro, I got washed. I got fucking I got bodied, bro. I got absolutely washed.
Thank you for joining the call. I appreciate that because
I feel pain, but it's fine.
Hear me out, bro. I've been going to tournaments for so long, and dudes that either get bodied in pools, they walk away. You won't see them for a hot minute. You might not see them for the whole weekend. You got dudes that top 8 a tournament, but because they didn't win, they don't even show up for the award ceremony. So I appreciate you having like the guts or humility to even just show up after not taking. You didn't win a round, like even a game. So I appreciate you even just showing up and thank you a lot for that. It says a lot to your character to be able to.
Bro, I was so tight after each of those games. I was like, you don't want to. It was bad. It was bad. But
yeah, but even though you lost,
I did what I got to do.
And you didn't take a game, like you're still here, willing to have a conversation. And I feel like out of everybody in the group, your mindset was the most resilient in that sense, where you had a shit ton of work to do, but you never let that like knock you down and like keep you from trying to improve or make you give up or make you think less of yourself, so to speak.
Dash attack or Absol.
That's me.
Honestly, it's unfortunate that you had to come out very little in terms of like the performance today, but realistically, you're also probably one of the newest players here in terms of just like having experience. So don't be afraid to sell yourself short, but don't be afraid to be flustered at what happened. It's okay to be upset in terms of just not being able to put up a fight compared to the others. If I had to give any advice straightforward, it's honestly just you need to find a game plan and execute it. I feel that's your main thing you're missing is execution. If you can execute to the way that you want, you're gonna be fine, bro.
Hello, it's me from the future. About 4 months after I finished recording everything for the Zero to Hero video. Originally, I had recorded some thoughts, some post-program thoughts, but those thoughts don't really apply as much anymore because a lot has changed in 4 months. I've been practicing and keeping on my game, and I want to say that absolutely 100%, without a doubt, lessons can make a huge impact and are definitely worth it if you think that you want to take something like esports seriously. I grew as a player very quickly. About 2 or so weeks after the program ended, I started to notice a lot of differences, enough to where other people were telling me like, hey, you're playing a whole lot better now. And I think that was really awesome because like it validated that. Originally I thought, like, well, I still have a lot to do. I came in and I wasn't as good as I wanted to be, so I didn't get as much out of the program. But actually I got a whole lot, if not more than other people would. My overall game sense is way better. My movement is so much cleaner. My combo game, my consistency of my execution has leveled up quite a bit, and it's going really well. That's all I can say. So, to answer the question I started the video with, without a doubt, it is 100% worth it to train with a professional player if you're serious about playing the game. Now, if you want proof that I have improved as a player since then, you should do yourself a favor and head over to my Twitch, twitch.tv/AbsolucianTV, link in the description and also on screen. Head over there and you get to watch me play all kinds of fighting games, not just Super Smash Brothers. I play all sorts of things. I do week of series where I play fighting games, and you should see some of those pop up on my YouTube pretty soon. So thank you all for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the video. I know I had a fun time making it, and yeah, man, without further ado, have a good ass day.